Hello guys, welcome back to Moments with Ayuk. In today's video we are going to be making Koki beans. I don't know how that is called in other countries, but in Cameroon we call it Koki beans. So actually the kind of beans that we use back home is different from the beans that I'm going to use here, because the beans that I'm going to use here is, I don't know, but I think it's the beans. It's just that these people, they peel it, and so I bought this from the shop, and I like this because this is very easy to make. It has been peeled, so all I need to do is just to soak it in water, and after that I can blend and cook my koki. So stay tuned as I'm going to cook my koki beans. So I'm going to be showing you some steps, or maybe I may not show you all the steps, but I'm going to show you from the beginning to the end until when we are going to eat the koki beans. So stay tuned and see you.
So the very first thing I do is I steep the koki in water because it's dry. So I steep it in water. And after steeping in water, the next thing I do while the koki is in water, I have to prepare all the other things that I need for the koki. So the first thing I did was to prepare my cocoa leaves. Yeah, cocoa leaves. Some people you can put vegetables, any kind of vegetables of your choice. It's okay, but for me, traditionally we put cocoa leaves, and I had cocoa leaves behind my house in my little garden. So I harvested the cocoa leaves, and I was in the process of preparing the cocoa leaf. So that is the first thing I did after soaking my koki. So after fixing my cocoa leaf, the next thing I do is to clean my plantain leaves. I like being real traditional. So I have my cocoa leaf. I harvested my plantain leaves still from my garden. You see why I said having a garden behind your house is very, very important. You don't need to go to the market for everything. So everything was like organic. Yes. So I have my plantain that I planted behind my house in my little garden. I harvested the plantain leaves, and in the morning I had to put in the sun so that it should get weak. I don't know how I can explain it, but so that be it shouldn't be able to tear when you're tying it. So some people use foil paper, but I don't like using foil paper. I like going the real traditional way, the way my mom taught me how to do it. I'm a traditional girl, so I always like to uphold my culture and my tradition. Yes, so the next thing I do is just to clean the plantain leaves because they have been outside. So I had to clean them and keep them set, waiting for the koki to get soft so that I can blend. Yeah, the next step after cleaning my plantain leaves is the blending process. So I had to mix my pepper with the beans. I like to blend everything. So I had to mix the pepper with the beans and started blending. Make sure you blend it very well and add enough water because the beans can be strong. So you add enough water and blend. And that is how the process continues. So after blending, I had to pour it in a pot. If you have a mortar, you can pour it in a mortar and use the how do they call it? the wooden stick. Yes, use the wooden stick to stir it so that it can really, you give a different texture when you do that. But unfortunately I don't have a mortar, so what I had to do was to pour it in my pot. I had a wooden stick. I had to use my wooden stick to stir it while my palm oil is on fire. My palm oil, I need to warm the palm oil. Some people warm the palm oil in microwave, but I don't like using microwave to warm the palm oil when I have my fire. So I had to warm the palm oil in the fire so that I can pour it into the coffee beans that has been blended. Now you see what I'm doing. I'm just stirring the coffee beans that has been blended, and that's my palm oil. Yes, I have enough palm oil. Traditional lady. I have everything. I always make sure I have everything around me, especially things that have to do with my traditional food. I don't joke with that. I don't joke with it. So I had to pour the palm oil into my frying pan, and my induction pot is on, and I had to allow it to warm after some time. So after warming the oil, the next thing I need to do is just to pour the oil in the koki. By then you must have added a little salt in the koki, so you add your salt and keep stirring until the oil is warm enough, just like what you're going to see now. Yes, so you see that you don't need to fry the oil. Please don't make a mistake of frying the oil. You're not frying it to be white as if you want to maybe cook jollof rice or something. No, you don't fry it, you just warm it so that before it gets to the koki, it will be very easy to blend with the koki. That's why I'm warming it. So take note of that. Don't over warm it, don't fry it. Don't fry it. Because some people will just keep it like that and forget about it. But don't forget, just leave it to get warm so that it should just be real liquid, that light liquid, so that it will be easy to mix with or to blend with the koki, just like what I have done. So that is it. The next stage is just to pour it in the koki. Then take them go for test. Okay, so my oil is ready now. It's ready, and that's what I was saying. You have to stir the koki like that. Oh my god, if that was a wooden, how do they call it, mortar, wooden, I don't know how they call it in English, but I think it's mortar. If it was that real traditional mortar and you're stirring like that, it will start behaving as if the koki will be like it has some foam in it. That's the best koki, because when you cook that, it's going to be a bit crunchy and it will be nice. Yeah, it will be good. Yeah. But since I didn't have that traditional mortar, I had to use my pot, and you see me adding my salt. Yes, and please be careful when you are adding the salt. Don't overdo. Don't overdo, because if you overdo, the worst thing in koki is that salt should pass. If you have over salt, it should better have less salt than much salt, or more than the enough salt. Yeah, so now I have stirred everything and I had to pour my oil. So yeah, I had to pour the oil into the koki. Now this is a stage where you need to be very careful when you pour. Oh, look at how that oil is shining. My god, that oil was oil. So you have to pour. When you pour the oil, you have to mix the oil. Try to mix the koki, the blended koki or the blended beans with the oil. When you mix, stir it a lot so that it should really blend. Ash. You cannot imagine how it is, how it tastes. So after mixing like that, the next thing I do, since I tasted the koki and my salt is okay, the next thing I do is just to add my cocoa leaves. This is the stage where I add my cocoa leaves. So I added my cocoa leaves and had to just mix. So I had to do it the really traditional way. Don't mind me, I'm a real traditional woman. So I used to see what my mom used to do. So I followed everything, every step. Yeah, I had to put my pot on fire so that the water will be warm before I start placing the koki in the fire. So after putting the water, I have to put plantain leaves. Yes, I have to put plantain leaves beneath the pot so that even if the koki is getting burned, it's not going to really burn because plantain leaves is beneath the pot. Yes, so this is the time to pour the leaves. I had to use the leaves to clean the wooden spoon, the wooden stick. I had to use the leaves to clean. That's what my mother used to do. So don't blame me. That's what I saw and that's what I learned. So that is what I also do, and my kids will also do that. Okay, so after putting the cocoa like that, the next thing is just to mix the cocoa leaves, and the blended coffee and oil so that everything should blend. See, you don't know how nutritive this food is. It's like it's a Cameroonian delicacy. Yes, so that's the next thing you do. After that, you just need to start tying in bundles. And in tying these bundles, the secret though, if you don't know how to tie it, you will not know. Most people use foil paper to do that, but for me, I go with my organic plantain leaves. So I'm just going to show you how to tie it. Just one. So that is it. It's time. You see my pot, it has been prepared. You have plantain leaves beneath the pot, just waiting for the bundles to come in. And now it's time for me to tie it in bundles. Yes, it's time for me to tie it in bundles. So I had to use my bowl because my cooking spoon will be small to take. I like big bundles. My family is big, so I always like big bundles of koki. So I had to put it like that. And look at how shiny that oil is. Oh, that oil is very good. It shines. Yes. Now, this is how you should tie. You have to first of all hold the heads of the leaves. Make sure you join the two heads together. And now you start gathering from beside. You gather. Oh my God. You gather in both sides. You hold. And now use the rope to tie it. Yes, I have my multi-purpose rope at home. I use it for everything. So that is the real traditional cookie. That is what my mom taught me. Yes, that is how my mom taught me, and that is how I do my cookie. That's one bundle of cookie. So I had about 5 bundles of this, and I had to just, yes, the next thing in the pot, open the pot, put it inside and close. Yes. So that's it. When you're done, you just gather everything, you put it in the pot. So I had to make sure I gathered, arrange it well inside the pot. So you see my arrangement. Yes, it's now set. And the next thing, you use another plantain leaf and cover it so that it will be heated a lot. Some people use nylon plastic paper. Yes, some people use plastic paper to cover, but I like, as I earlier said, I like to go traditional. So I do everything perfectly as traditional way, in the traditional way. So I had to cover it like that and close the pot. Allow it to boil for about maybe an hour. So this is the final stage. Yes, the cookie is ready. I allowed it to get a bit cold. And now is the time to see what we did. So tell me in the comment section, have you ever cooked cookie before? Have you ever eaten cookie? Have you ever been close to maybe a Cameroonian that makes cookie? If you haven't, I assure you, you need to have a taste of it. Look at how it is. So we eat koki with plantain. Yeah, it goes with plantains. It goes with yam, cocoa yams. You know, we eat with anything. You can eat it with anything chewable. Yes, but it's so rich. Koki is a rich delicacy, rich in vitamins, rich in the different classes of food. You can get it in koki. You have vegetables, you have beans, it's protein, you have oil, you have everything is there, in short. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give me thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. And don't forget to comment. Let me know what you think about this Cameroonian delicacy called Koki.